One of the most common things that you'd like to do with your WordPress install is something called SEO. This stands for Search Engine Optimization. It's a very broad topic and has a lot of different nuances. However, there's a great plugin that helps us with SEO. It's called Yoast Seo, and it is a preferred plugin for those who are serious about getting rank on their WordPress install. First, type in Yoast, first go to Plugins, add New, type in Yoast in the keyword search, and you'll see Yoast Seo will pop up. This has over 1 million active installs. Click on Install. Click on Activate. And now you're ready to begin the Yoast Seo tour. I generally skip the tour, but we'll give you a rundown of what Yoast Seo does. Click on SEO. It adds a new tab in your dashboard, in your menus. Click on SEO General, and it gives you the options for starting the tour, seeing the latest changes, or restore the default settings. Click on the Your Info tab. This gives you the opportunity to put in your website name and the alternative name, or the tagline. Choose whether you're a company or a person. Click on Webmaster Tools and enter the Webmaster Tools directly how it appears here. If you're already verified, you can skip this step. We'll cover Webmaster Tools in a different video. This is just a security which disables the advanced part of the Yoast Seo meta box. Most users aren't going to use that part. And onpage.org enables the indexability check. Click on Titles and Meta. Here's how you can set up how your search appears in Google or other search engines. This is the divider that you can choose. In your homepage settings, you can determine your homepage settings in your homepage. Click on Post Types. In general, you can leave all this as a default setting. In categories and taxonomies, you can leave all this as a default setting. With format, you want a no index follow. What that means is it'll be followed, but Google will not index it and include it in the search result. Author archives, you can also leave it as default. However, you may want to include this as duplicate content prevention. This is important as Google does hit you with duplicate content violations if you're shown to have duplicate content. Because WordPress is able to index your pages in numerous ways, so you can access pages through categories or posts or directly through the URL. You may want to include the new no index follow to author archives. This is generally a good idea. You can also just disable them completely. When you make any changes, you want to hit Save Changes. Click on Other, and you'll see some additional options. If you want to prevent the page 2 and further archives, you can enable this by no index subpages of archives. It's optional, and it's really up to you if you want to implement it. If you want to use a meta keywords, which aren't really used by too many search engines these days, but you could still include them in the search results, you can click on this tab. You can also prevent search engines from using the DMOZ description for pages on the site. DMOZ is one of the world's largest and most comprehensive databases on the web. What this means is it's a comprehensive directory database that allows users and basically qualifies websites against other websites. So it allows you to have additional descriptions if you submit your website into the directory. Google sometimes uses this information to pull and include this in the page description. This goes the same as a Yahoo directory. They're both comprehensive directories with multiple website listings. So basically, you have as many websites as you'd like to list in there and reflect on your website. This is going to reflect how your website appears in the SERP results, or the search engine results page. This is a very complex and personal decision, and oftentimes it requires understanding of how the DMOZ and Yahoo directories work in regards to how Google pulls that information onto the search results. It's your choice if you want to block that or not, and only use the descriptions on your pages that you create. However, it can be helpful for you to use the other descriptions, as it qualifies your website from a different website. That's kind of like a backlink, but it basically cross-examines your website against the other websites listed in that directory to say, hey, this is actually what your website is about. It's not just a collection of keywords. So sometimes it could be useful for your website to enable those, and rather to keep these unchecked. This is where you can find all of your social profiles. You can input all your social profiles here. XML sitemaps are essential for SEO. With your XML sitemaps, you may want to restrict certain content. So you want to restrict the author and user sitemap. You may only want, and certain plugins may add additional posts, pages, media, post types, and any other customizations that those plugins may add. You may want to prevent those in your sitemaps because sometimes they're just not essential to be there. You don't necessarily need to have all of it, because then your sitemap is very large and it's very difficult to crawl. So make sure if you install a new plugin, you do check up on this tab. This is where you can manually exclude posts, and here's where you can manually exclude taxonomies. In general, certain taxonomies will be created by plugins, so you may want to de-index those from the sitemap. Rather, remove them from the sitemap entirely. The advanced area is really designed for advanced users, but this is where you can enable breadcrumbs, but you will need a PHP script in order for those breadcrumbs to appear on your pages. For your permalink settings, you can strip the category base, you can redirect attachment URL to the parent post URL, or you can clean up the permalinks. In general, this isn't really required. In your RSS configuration, again, it's not really required. The default settings are just fine. In the tools, this is where we can import and export our settings, edit files, edit changes in bulk, and recalculate our scores for the focus keywords we selected on our pages. It skipped